excited to be here because I'm finally doing the TED Lasso ASMR video. I'm gonna do a Q&A based on TED Lasso. It's a show on Apple TV. If you haven't seen it, it's literally the story about a good guy, literally the nicest guy you will ever meet. He's the cutest man ever, and the sweetest also. Like, he has the kindest heart, and there's a lot of football in there, soccer for Americans. So it's fantastic. It's so great. It's such a great show, filled with so many great characters that you really engage with and fall in love with. If you haven't seen it, please do it. It's like such a heartwarming show. And if you're currently watching it, warning, disclaimer, there will be some spoilers in here, so maybe watch this video when you're done watching Ted Lasso and then come back to it, and then you can watch it right before bed so you can relax. I've got some NASCARs going by, you know, the huge. But anyway, let's get started. I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan, and there's soccer involved. I mean, how can you not love the show? If you've seen it, let me know which season was your favorite. My favorite season was season 1. I loved season 1. It's the one that really hooked me. And then the last season too. The last season as well. So the first and last were my top favorites. Alright, you guys, let's get started. I'm gonna grab the mic so that I can speak to you nice and close. Okay. So sit back and relax and let's get started. What does Ted compare tea to when he first drinks it in England? So in other words, what would he call tea when he first used to drink it in England? And the answer is, he says it tastes like hot brown water. Do you guys remember that? It's so funny. Question number 2. What chess piece does Ted compare Nate to when giving him more responsibility? That's a tough one. I actually did not remember this. And the answer is a pawn that could become a queen. Next question. What's the name of the episode where Ted plays darts against Rupert? That's hard. What? And the answer is the Diamond Dogs. What play follows Richmond closely and often clashes with Ted. Trent Grimm from The Independent. Do you guys remember he would always like stand up at those conferences and he'd be like, Trent Grimm from The Independent. Fantastic character. I ran out of storage, so I had to cut the video, but we're back. Anyway, I was talking about Trent Grimm from The Independent. And how much I love that character, and I loved how they kept him throughout the rest of the seasons, and I feel like his character definitely grew towards the end, and his character ended up being so important and so relevant, you know, especially in that character. It was Colin, right? I believe that was his name. Colin Hughes, right? Yeah, I think that was his name. How he, you know, he confessed to Trent about, you know, who he really was, and it was just beautiful. A very important character. Anyway, moving on. What phrase does Ted use to comfort Sam before a big game? Be a goldfish. Can we talk about the goldfish? Like, what is it that they lose their memories like every 3 seconds, something like that? After 3 seconds, boom, memory is erased and they just start fresh. Like, isn't that fantastic? So Ted would always say, be more like a goldfish, which, if you think about it, part of sadness and suffering mainly comes from like the thought, right? And like the memories of the past and going there and thinking about it over and over. So the idea of like being a goldfish is fantastic. Anyway, let's continue with the question. What snack is Ted obsessed with in London that he would always bring to the boss? The shortbread biscuits he bakes fresh every morning for Rebecca. What animal does the team's mascot represent? And the answer is a greyhound, because AFC Richmond's nickname is... What's Richmond's nickname? It's the Greyhounds. Greyhounds. Who is Nate's nickname at the beginning of the series? I feel like who knows? What is Nate's nickname at the beginning of the series? Nate the Great. Though at first he was just the Kit Man. Crazy how much that character evolved as well, right, Nate? I feel like he's one of the ones that had the most elaborate story, really, and how much he progressed, right, and how much he evolved, and how his story, his journey as a character evolved. It was beautiful character as well. I keep moving on. What country is Jamie Tart from? And city. Everything. You gotta say everything, not just the country. He's from Manchester, England. Which player has the famous line, "Football is life"? That's easy. Come on, that's so easy. Dani Rojas, the joyful striker. What is Coach Beard's real first name? I'm gonna say that with every character because he's just fantastic. I loved every character so much, even the waitress that Nate falls in love with. At first, she was like, she was like so rude, but then, what a fantastic actress. I ended up loving her so much, and she ended up being fantastic. Anyway, where was I? Oh my god, where was I? Was I at a question? Oh yeah, what is Coach Beard's first real name? Guys, I'm tired. It's almost 11 p.m. I need to get to bed. His name is Willis Beard, but almost nobody ever calls him that. What special word hangs above the locker room door? That word played a very important role in the whole show. The yellow sign that simply says believe. Which sport did Ted originally coach before soccer? And where? And the answer is American football back in Kansas. What karaoke song does Rebecca sing in season 1? Let It Go from Frozen. What video game do the players play together? And the answer is FIFA, where they even play as their own team. That was a cool scene. Alright, now, that was it for the questions. Keeping it nice and simple, not too crazy. I'll give you guys some fun facts, okay? So, Jason Sudeikis, who played Lasso, first played Ted Lasso in a series of NBC sports commercials before the character got his own show. Isn't that wild? So it all first started off as a commercial, and then they were like, wait, this can be a fantastic show. Smart, very smart. Hannah Waddingham, I may or may not be saying her last name correctly, who plays Rebecca, was also famous for her role as the Shame Nun in Game of Thrones. Sorry. Brett Goldstein, Roy Kent, was originally just a writer on the show, but convinced the team to let him audition and nailed it. I also found out he's a comedian. I did not know he was a comedian until I was on the plane. I was on a flight recently, and I was trying to look for something to watch, and I saw Brett Goldstein stand-up comedy, and I was like, what? So interesting. Moving on. The fictional AFC Richmond Stadium is actually Selhurst Park, home to Crystal Palace Football Club in London. Isn't that cool? I know I have a lot of English viewers, so let me know if you've ever been there. Okay, moving on. The character of Danny Rojas, known for saying football is life, wasn't in the original plan. He was added later and became a fan favorite. Many of the locker room scenes were filmed on specially built sets that matched Premier League stadiums. Makes sense. Jason Sudeikis won multiple Emmy Awards for his performance as Ted. chemistry is wild. Tell me that they're not like best friends. Like, they are best friends on the show, but you can tell that they just have this connection. So believable. I loved their friendship. Seriously, beautiful. The show was one of Apple TV Plus's biggest breakout hits, helping launch the platform globally. Now, isn't that cool? The Believe sign on the locker room wall became a real life symbol for fans. Many people made their own at home. Aww. Aww. So cute. So cute. So cute. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, you guys, this was fun. I feel like there's way more questions I can ask about this show, but let's see for next time. Oh, sorry you guys, I keep running out of storage. I have to take my phone to the Apple store because I seriously don't know what's happening. Anyway, I was saying that for the next football video,